friends, it's Amber. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so grateful that you're here. Does anybody else have problems getting back into the swing of things at the beginning of the year, especially after such a crafty and creative season like fall and Christmas? That's kind of what's been happening to me, and I've been in the craft room, I've been creating things, and I will share the projects with you that I did make that I haven't made videos on. And if you do want tutorials for those projects, I'm happy to do them. But today's project is going to be so much fun. I am finally getting around to putting out the tutorial for my mini traveler's notebooks with the vinyl sleeves. So you don't have to do any laminating with these. These are similar to the ones that I created a few years ago that everybody seemed to love. The vinyl sleeves sold out, and a lot of other YouTubers are started making them because they're so easy. You don't have to laminate, you don't have to sew anything, and they're so much fun. So I finally figured out how to create the traveler's notebooks with these, with the smaller size vinyl sleeve from clearbags.com. So I'm gonna link these below. They're a bit smaller than the ones I made in that video that I talked about, and I will link that one below. When it's all folded up, it's approximately 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I figured out a way to put the mini composition books in here along with some other goodies. That's what took me forever, is finding a way to actually put the composition books in here and make them work, because they are a lot smaller than these covers. So I'm gonna do a full tutorial here on video today, but I wanna show you what it is we're making. So let's go ahead and flip through my cute mini traveler's notebook. Okay, again, so here's the cute traveler's notebook that we're making. And I've actually made a couple changes from this, and it's actually for the better. So when we do the tutorial, I'll share with you those tips. But this, let's just do a quick flip through of what we're gonna be making. Here's the front cover, and it's super simple. I love the paper. Here's the paper collection that I used. It's by Simple Stories, and it's new for this year, and it is called Tea Garden, and it's so pretty. Here's all the prints. It's got like the light pink and the mustard yellow with that beautiful green, and it has little tea images, teapots, and florals. So here's our cute little TN. I love it so much. I added the seam binding in a different spot this time, so I added it right here to the spine. And I am using the Absolute Beautiful Spring Collection by MyScrapcabin shop. She has the most gorgeous seam binding. The one I used on this is actually, this is called Sun Rose. This is the bundle that I used for this collection, and it's called Spring Party, and you get 12 spring inspired seam binding bundles. So there's all these different colors. I took out these already, and of course the one we used. So all those come in that beautiful set. And then I also got the Love Story set, and this is the beautiful Shabby Chic colors. Oh my gosh, look at how pretty those are. I cannot wait to use these. These will go perfect with spring as well, and like vintage stuff, so I can't wait to use those. So let's get back to the flip through. If you hear something, I'm right by the window in my craft room, and there's like the ice cream lady, and she just stopped at the neighbor's house. So if you hear anything, that's what that is. So here is the beautiful cover. I just added some foam stickers to the top of that vinyl, and it comes from the collection as well. So when you open this up, there is a lot of goodies in here, and that's why it's so perfect and chunky. Let me take these little clips off. I just used this pink binder clip, and I got it at Daiso. I'll show you the package of these in a second. And I just made this cute paper clip with some scraps and one of the foam stickers. Okay, so when you open this up, there's so many goodies in here. All these notebooks. So let me show you what I did. So I'll go over what's in this pocket in a second, but we've got 4 bands here coming off of the notebook, and I'll show you how to put those in. It's really easy. And so the first notebook we have is right here, and it is just a scrapbook style. So I put in just plain white printer paper, but I used the really nice quality, cushiony really smooth. It feels like butter. I call it butter paper because it's just a really nice quality printer paper, and I'll show you the one I used when we do the tutorial. So there's a notebook just filled with that white paper, and I just made the cover out of the scrapbook paper. Then the next page is another cover the same size, but I put one of the mini composition books in the middle. So when we do the tutorial, this cover right here is actually going to be a pocket page. So I'm going to show you how to make it into a pocket folder, and it's kind of look like this instead. So I just used the regular small little mini composition books, and I just covered the front and back with the same pattern paper. And I'm not going to do a tutorial on how I covered this because I have so many tutorials on how to cover a mini composition book, and I'm going to link my favorite one below, and I'll link it right here as well. But it's really easy, and you can get these at Walmart, you can get them at Dollar Tree, pretty much anywhere, and I'll link some below for you. So that worked out really well to have the folder around the composition book. So I did that twice, and you can decorate these as much as you want as well. So here's my next little signature here, and it's another one of the folders, and I put another mini composition book in there. So these are great for scrapbooking on the go. You can do so much with this. So here's my last little notebook in here, and I made just another one of the ones with the pattern paper and the plain white sheets in there. So there's 16 pages in here, and then front and back there's 32. And there's that. But with all these notebooks in here, it's kind of hard to get into the pocket. So here's what I did. So if you take out the notebooks, which are super easy, they're meant to be really easy to take in and out. So that way if you're working on this one, say you're traveling and you're in your Airbnb or your hotel, and you have all your ticket stubs and all your little stuff from the day, and you want to junk journal it, you just take it and turn to your page that you're on. Take your little binder clip, and that way you can work. Take your little paper clip and have your pages be flattened down, and you can work on this. So that's kind of what that idea is for. But anyways, if you take all these out, which is super easy, so I'll just take out the first two. Then you can more easily get into this side vinyl pocket. And what I did is I made a little coin envelope. And this coin envelope is meant to put in a bunch of stickers and die cuts and little ephemera pieces from the collection. So when you're going about your travels, or just even if you take this on the go to a little cafe or anything, you just have your glue stick, and you can use any of the stickers. Just kind of dump this out and work on it, and then whatever you don't use, put back in here, and then you just tuck it back in that pocket. But I just wanted to show you that yes, it is kind of awkward trying to get that out, but if you take the first two notebooks out, it's really easy. And then it's easy, you just slip them back in there. And these are meant to be worked on outside of the actual TN cover. So you're supposed to take these out, and that's why it's so easy to just take them in and out. And then you can do journaling in there. So this is so easy, and I figured out all the dimensions and everything, so that way you can make this cute little chunky vinyl covered traveler's notebook with no laminating, no sewing, and you can use up a paper collection super easily, and it is so much fun. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go over the scrapbook paper you're going to need to make this. So for the piece that goes into the vinyl sleeve, you need a double-sided piece of scrapbook paper that measures 8 1/4 across by 5 1/4 up and down. So I am using the same piece that we have on this one, but I'm going to reverse it to make the pink on the outside. I'm just obsessed with this pattern. It's so pretty. So that's what you need to go inside the vinyl sleeve. And again, I'm going to link these down below with a coupon code. The covers for the little notebooks that you're going to make out of the printer paper, you're going to need 2 pieces of scrapbook paper. They don't have to be double-sided, but I have this collection that I'm using, so they're double-sided. And these measure 7 1/4 across by 4 3/4 up and down. So you need 2 of those. And then for the pocket pages that we're going to be putting the composition books inside, so these measure 7 1/4 across by 6 3/4 up and down. and it's gonna make it to where you have it like this, and then this part right here folds up to the pocket. So you need 2 of those. So you're gonna need to save some scrapbook paper to cover these, but again, I'm gonna link that tutorial below for you, so this video isn't super long. So it's really easy. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is take the piece that goes inside the sleeve and just round the corners, because on the vinyl sleeve, these corners are rounded. So I'm just using my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper, and I'm using the 1/4 inch side, but you can use any corner rounder you have. So I'm just gonna round all those corners. So then I'm just gonna simply fold this in half, and you can make a really nice crease. You can use your scoreboard if you need to. I just eyeballed it. So I'm just gonna gently press it with my bone folder. This is the tip that I have to share with you to make sure that this paper doesn't rip, because again, we're not laminating this. We're sticking it into this sleeve, and yes, it's gonna go into the pockets, but there's this little spine right here where it's not gonna be covered with plastic. So I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do to ensure that this spine doesn't rip, especially when we go to punch our holes. So I'm gonna open this up and just lay it down, and you did that middle crease, so you can kind of eyeball where the center is. And this is what we're gonna do to reinforce that middle. I'm just gonna take some packing tape, and I'm gonna turn it this way so I can work with it better. But all I'm gonna do is take some packing tape and just try to center this as best I can and as smoothly as I can on that paper in the middle. I do recommend doing it a little longer, so that way you can just work with it easier, and you can always cut off the excess. Okay, so since I have this like nice craft mat, I'm able to just pull that up, and then we're gonna turn it around and do the exact same thing on this side. Let's make sure that's on there, and then just tear that off, and you have your spine nice and reinforced with that tape. Then what I'm gonna do is just take my scissors and cut off the excess. Okay, so now we have that. As you can see, it's all nice and covered with the tape. Find that center again, fold it in half, so that way the tape is nice and creased also. And then I'm gonna bring my sleeve over, and because I want the pink part to be the cover, I'm gonna open it up with the inside facing up, and I'm gonna stick the first flap in there and slide it all the way to the edge. And then I find the easiest way to do this side is to bring it all the way down, curve your page, and then stick it in the pocket this way. And then just gently work that paper in there. Here's the part where there's no vinyl, and we've covered that in tape, and you can see I kind of messed up. There's a little crease right there, but you're not even gonna see it because we're gonna be putting our notebooks in there. So another reason we covered that with packing tape is because we're gonna be punching holes for our elastics to go in. And I'm just gonna use this elastic that I ordered from Etsy right here. So I'm gonna link this below where I ordered it. I'm not sure of the size, I can't remember, but I'm just gonna use this, and I, again, will link the shop below where I got it. I got multiple different colors. So what we're gonna do is take your hole punch, and I'm using my Crocodile. This is like the big one because I, of course, misplaced my other one again. I'm gonna punch these holes, and I'm gonna show you where I punch them. I'm gonna put this on the 1/8 of an inch setting because you want the smaller hole. And let me just punch these, and I'll show you where I punched them at. Okay, so this is the top, and this is where I punched my holes. So as you can see, there's one right at the top where the paper almost ends, and it's right on that middle crease. And then the two on the sides are even with that middle one, but they're right up against where the pocket starts. And again, it's almost right to the edge of that paper, and that's why we use the packing tape, because I discovered on this one I didn't put the packing tape and my paper started to rip. Do you see that? So the paper started to rip, and so I needed to make sure that we protected the paper, especially when we punch the holes. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing on the bottom. Okay, so there's the 3 holes on the bottom, same spot. So now it's time to put our elastic in here. So you're going to do this in a way that makes 4 bands. So to know how much elastic to use, you know that I always over measure. So keep that in mind. But I like to measure out, and don't pull it super tight, but I'm going to measure out 5.5 lengths of my traveler's notebook up and down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. Okay, so it's really easy how to put the elastic in. So just make sure that you have this right side up. That's the top, that's the bottom. You're gonna start on the bottom right hole, and you're gonna start from the bottom and come up. So you're on the inside of your notebook. Then take that end, and you're gonna pull this all the way until you have a string left that reaches a little more than halfway up the notebook. So then you're going to take this end and put it on the top and put it down into the top right hole. You don't want to pull super tight on these because they're going to need room to grow. So those notebooks could get chunky. So then you're going to take the end that you just stuck down in that hole and come up through the middle top hole. Okay, so after you do that, take it and go down through the bottom middle hole. So this is what you have so far. So now take the end of the elastic and go up through the left bottom hole, just like that, and then take it and go down through the top left hole. Okay, so now you have 3 so far, and you need to make 4. So what you're going to do is turn this over, and you see where that looped through. Take the end of your elastic that you just stuck through this hole, and you are on the top, and you're going to take it and stick it back through the middle hole. So it's going to be a little tight since you've already got elastic through that hole. Okay, so then once you got that, turn it back around. So then you have this tail that you left here from the beginning. You're just going to do the same thing. You're going to go on the outside and stick it back up through the bottom middle hole. So now that you have that one, both of the pieces back through the middle holes, you are just going to take these 2 pieces and tie them together in a knot, and that makes your 4th band. So as you can see, I did over measure, but it's better to have more than not enough. So there's our 4th band, and I'm just going to make sure that is a really tight knot. And then I'll just cut off the excess. Okay, so now you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 elastic to put our notebooks and our folders in. And then the outside is super clean. It just has the 2 up here, 2 down there. So the next thing we need to do is place a hole right in the middle right here. So if you don't have one of these long reach ones, you can just take a needle and pop it through there, or a tack or anything you have, and just make the hole big enough to put elastic through. So I'm just gonna eyeball the center. I'm gonna find that creased middle center line to punch my hole. So now I have a hole right there in the middle, right there. And what we're going to do with that is just take some more elastic. So that's for this little piece right here that holds it closed. So I'm just going to take this piece of elastic that I have left and fold it in half and then stick it down through the hole. So it's gonna essentially be closed like this, and then you have that to bring around. So did you see what we did? So that's why we just took the end, stuck it through the hole, and now we need to eyeball how long we need this, depending on how thick our notebook's gonna be. So I like to just take my finger and kind of eyeball it and test it out. So I think that's just about right. And so I know I need to tie a knot right about there. So I'm gonna pull this out, keep my fingers where I need to tie the knot, and just tie the knot. I don't want to make it too tight yet because I want to test it out with the knot in there. So again, there's where the knot is. I'm going to have my finger here. Bring it around. Kind of eyeball to how chunky it'll be. I think that's pretty perfect. I might loosen it up just a little bit. Since I didn't do that knot super tight, I'm able to do that. And then I'm gonna pull it tight and make that knot final. I will cut off the excess. So now we have that piece of elastic through the middle, and it is our closure. So here's the printer paper I'm using. It's the premium color copy paper, and it's 28 pound. And I'm gonna pull out 8 sheets of this, because that's what you're gonna need to make 2 of the notebooks. So I'm gonna take 4 sheets at a time, and these are gonna be cut down to 7 by 4 3/4. And you're gonna do 2 strips at 4 3/4. So now you have your 8 sheets for one of the journals, and then do the exact same thing with these 4. So now that we have the insides of our 2 notebooks, we're gonna go ahead and take your pages, and here's the covers. So first thing I'm gonna do is round the corners on both of these. And I'm gonna use my, again, my 1/4 inch side of my corner chomper here and round the corners. I'm gonna do the same for the inside pages. Take all 8 pages together and round the corners. So now it's super easy. I'm going to take my first cover and I'm just going to fold it in half. And I'm not going to crease it with my bone folder. I'm just going to gently crease it with my finger so it's kind of rounded. And then take the 8 sheets and do the same thing. Just gently fold them in half. And then these are going to be nestled right into that cover. And it's going to create the cutest little scrapbook. And then grab your stapler, and I have this long reach stapler, and what we're gonna do is just hold that securely, and we're just gonna staple this. So turn this over so you're at the top of your notebook, and then just eyeball 3 staples. So we're gonna do the top, the middle, and the bottom. So there's how it looks stapled, and then just kind of fold that back in half, and you've made yourself the cutest little notebook. Okay, so our notebook is all done. I think that is super cute. It's got all those pages to paint or to scrapbook in, and you can like mass produce so many of these little journals and sell them at your craft fair. I think they're so easy, and they're one of my favorite things to do. And it looks nice and clean. Here's the staples. Super cute. Okay, so we got our 2 cute little notebooks, scrapbooks, whatever you want to call them, done for the Traveler's Notebook. And technically you could make 4 of these and just do 4 of these, and you don't have to use the little mini composition books, and so that would look really cute too. And you could also make these chunkier with more of the white pages in there. You could put scrapbook paper in here. You can make these more junk journal style. I like to leave them a little plain because I figured they're going to be decorated and photos are going to be added and more little scraps of paper and ephemera. So that's why I kept them a little bit more slim. And now I'm going to show you how to make the easiest, cutest little pocket. And I'll show you what we're going to tuck in the pockets too. So here's my page. So all you're going to need to do this is grab your scoreboard. So the only thing we're going to do first is just score this down at 3 5/8. So that is 1/8 past the 3.5 mark. And that's just scoring it right in half. Then you're going to turn it to where the bottom of the paper is at the left. And so if you have an image like I do, make sure the bottom is at the left. And you're just going to score this in at 2 inches. So because I want the little teapots to be the front and the cover of my little folder, I'm going to fold it in half like this. And I thought the camera was rolling, so I already rounded the corners. And then here's the inside of your folder, and this is just going to flip up to make the pocket. But before we do that, I just want to make 2 little cuts. See where this little crease is right here? I'm going to just cut on both sides just a sliver at a slight angle. Right until you meet that score line right there. So we're basically just taking off that crease on the bottom and cutting at an angle. So let me show you how that looks. Here's what we cut off, and that's what it looks like because we did it at a side angle. So then these are going to flip up like this and make the pockets, and we're just going to take wet glue and glue the 2 sides. So I'm just using my Aqua Mono Liquid Glue, and we just have to make sure we let this dry once we glue it so it stays. So now we can just press that down, and I'm just going to place something heavy over this and let it dry. So this part's totally optional, and it's that cute little pouch that we put in this one that I made. It's just with whatever size paper you have left, you can make it work. I'm working with a scrap that's 5 by 7. So if you have a 5 by 7 piece left, stick it in your scoreboard on the 7-inch side, and you're going to score in at 2, and then down here at 5, and then just make a 1/4 turn, and now you're going to score in at 1/2 inch, and then turn it all the way around to the top and score 1/2 inch. So then once you're done scoring, we can fold on all our lines here. And you've seen me make these style of little pockets or envelopes a million times on my channel. So we got the sides folded in, and then the bottom and the top. So this paper's kind of sideways because that's the scrap I had left, but you can make sure that yours is the right way. So as you know, we have our little envelope, and we need to close this up. So as I do on my channel all the time, we're going to get rid of this panel, this panel, this panel, and that panel. So instead of just cutting it straight off, I'm going to cut in at an angle to meet that score line right there, and then turn it this way and cut in at an angle just like that. So that's the shape that you're going for. So let's do this side now. We're going to cut in at a little bit of an angle and then cut it off at an angle. So then it has kind of like that envelope look. So we're going to do the exact same thing up here. So here's what our little envelope looks like now. And then when you close it, it's going to look like a cute little pouch. So all we need to do is just glue this down. So I'm just using my cute little Elmer's permanent tape runner. And just adding a strip or 2 there. Close that up, and then we're just going to close up the bottom. There we go. And then now you can stick all kinds of little die cuts and little stickers in there. So you can keep this in the pocket of your cute little album. So I'm going to stick that in there before we put our notebooks in there. Okay, so now it's time to put our cute notebooks in. So I want this one to go in first. So what you do is you just find the center, take your first elastic, and just put that in, just like that. So that one gets flipped over, and then here's our second elastic. So for this one, I'm gonna put the cute little pocket page. So I just thought we could put like one in each pocket. You can put as much stuff in here as you want. I even made one right here. I just used one of the cut aparts and then the stickers and some of the scraps, and I made my own little journal card. So I can stick that in there too. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm gonna take my first composition book, find the center, and just kind of sandwich it in there. So now it's like a folder on the outside of your cute little composition book. It's a great way to use these composition books up, and a great way to use up your paper too. So again, find that center, and I'm gonna weave this through my next elastic, just like that. And again, I would put some decorations on there. It'd be so fun. Okay, so now we've got 2 of our elastics left. And the collection also came with adorable tags. So I'm gonna cut a couple of these out. So we can cut more tags, but for now, I'm gonna stick one in each of the pockets. And then bring in the cute composition book, nestle that right in the middle, and find the third elastic. And there's our next page. Isn't that so cute? And then our last one, of course, is our cute little notebook we made with the white paper. So I'm going to put that in there as well. So look how cute and chunky our notebook is, and it is not ripping the paper because we secured it with that packing tape, top and bottom. I think this is absolutely adorable. We're gonna do a couple things to decorate it, but let's go ahead and test out our elastic, and oh my gosh, it's perfect. It is so adorable, oh my gosh. So I'm gonna use this gorgeous mint colored seam binding from MyScrapcabin. It comes in that spring bundle pack. And I'm just gonna cut a little bit off of here. This is so fluffy and beautiful, I love it. So instead of putting the seam binding right here like I did on my last tutorial, I'm actually gonna weave it through the elastic that's up here. So I'm just gonna stick it through there. And that way it's like more permanent, it doesn't get in the way, and it's gonna look super fluffy and cute on the spine. I'm just gonna tie it in a bow. And I love seam binding because it's so rustic and messy, and it's so forgiving. And there you have it. It's so adorable. You can also put another color there if you want, but I think it looks good like this. Okay, so now I want to decorate the cover a little. In my opinion, the perfect thing to decorate these plastic vinyl sleeves with are these foam stickers. And this collection just happened to come with foam stickers. Let's do happy days. So I don't think these need any more adhesive because the vinyl just cooperates so well with the stickiness on here. So we're gonna do happy days right there on the cover. Okay, so it's all done. I decorated it with the cute foam stickers, and I absolutely love how it turned out. It's so chunky, look at that. Got our seam binding up here. So let's do a full flip through. We have our cute little envelope over here that we made, and you can stick goodies in there. So I have like cute little enamel dots and all the die cuts for this collection, and I can stick some in there so you can do some decorating and keep some washi samples in there. So the first notebook is right here, and it's our cute scrapbook with the white printer paper. So our next cute little insert is our pocket. It's around the adorable little composition book with all these pages to journal and scrapbook in. And then here's the other side of the folder with some goodies in there. And then the next insert, and we got some tags in there, journaling spots, and then our other mini composition book, so cute. And then this cute little tag. And then our last one is the other scrapbook that we made with the white paper. And these can be filled up so much with pictures and painting and mixed media, whatever you want to do. And then you can also put some cute little stuff back here. If you're taking this like as your traveler's notebook, you can put like your cash and debit card in here and stick this in your purse. It's such a cute project and so easy, and you get so many of these vinyl sleeves. You can totally use up your double-sided or single-sided paper with this project, just like mass-produced assembly line style, a bunch of these for your craft fair, and I think they would be such a hit, and this would be a beautiful gift as well. Let me show you where I got this binder clip right here. I got it from Daiso. So we finally got a Daiso closer to where I live, and I got this pack of 7, and it comes with all these colors. So here's the rest of them. They're super cute, and they're perfect for these little notebooks because sometimes you do need something to clip your pages down. So I'm gonna stick this one right here. And then for the little paper clip, I just made that paper clip with some of these paper clips that I bought. So I'll link some cute paper clips below as well, but I can make another one with this. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. As I promised, I'm going to show you quickly the 2 projects that I made that I didn't film. And if you do want a tutorial on one of them, because the other one's kind of self-explanatory, but I can definitely do that. Let me show you those really quick. So I did some crafting in February, even though I didn't put out a video, and I did some Valentine crafting, and I wanted to make some 1-page mini albums, and I had this idea, and I made one. But let me just flip through it. I used this really pretty collection, and I'll link it below. It was new, I believe, for 2025. So this is made out of 1 piece of 12 by 12 double-sided scrapbook paper. And after I came back and looked at it, I did think it was super cute. So I just tucked a little cluster, like a DIY embellishment kind of thing, in this paper clip right here. And I just used some ticket stubs, some gingham ribbon, this lace, a cute little vellum tag, and one of the journaling cards. And I just tied it all together with ribbon. And actually, I think it turned out really cute. I do like that. And I like how I decorated with washi tape also from the collection, just up here and down here. And then the second page is a pocket, and I put a bunch of the die cuts and ephemera from the collection along with some scrap, like shabby chic paper that I had, and a tag from the collection. And this is just a cute little side pocket, and I just put a die cut right here and a sticker, and you can put more stuff in there. And here's the next page. I used a giant die cut from the collection, and I had these 2 cute little cream envelopes, and I put the 2 stickers that look like stamps from the collection on there and just stuck them in here. And you can store more die cuts and cute goodies in there. And I'll link where I got these below. They just come in these little card packs from Amazon. And this one's London, but they have little cards and envelopes in there. I'll link that below if you want to pick it up. And then over here, I just made like a lace pocket, and I just stuck some more ephemera in there and a cute little T and a bookmark. And it was really fun and just super cute, and I don't know why I didn't post a video, but there it is. And then this right here, I just added some pom-pom trim. I just glued it down. You could totally use up an entire paper collection and make a bunch of these. And use all your die cuts, and it would be really cute. So there's a 1-page mini album. This is the other thing I made, and I made this not too long ago, and I used the vinyl sleeves. I just closed it with some seam binding. So I just decorated this really simply. I put the same exact measurement of the paper inside the vinyl sleeve, and then I used some of those cute enamel dots and one of those foam stickers. I made a cute little card set. So on this side, there's 3 handmade envelopes to fit a 3x4 little note card. And these envelopes are used with the envelope punch board using a 6x6 paper. So I just used that same tea collection, and that's where the envelopes live, right here. So I kind of like to stagger them so you can see all the designs. And then over here is the 3 note cards to go inside the envelope. So they're just made with a little matte page in there out of the paper. And it is really cute. And you can use up your paper with this too. And then I just made a cute little package of die cuts and stickers and journal cards. And then I just closed it with a sticker. And that way whoever gets this can decorate the card and then write their little note and use the envelope. So I thought that was pretty cute. You can really take this and use it for whatever you want, and it's so easy to make those envelopes with the envelope punch board. I have many tutorials on my channel for that. So there's those projects. I have been crafting a little. I have been shopping just a little too, so I could also do a haul if you guys want to see that. I have a lot of cute things that I've picked up. My birthday was in February, so I did some shopping with gift cards. I do want to thank those of you who answered my question on Instagram, what you most want to see on this channel. And most everybody said ideas to use up your paper stash, junk journals, simple junk journals, easy junk journal ideas. So a lot of junk journal stuff was requested, which I absolutely love. And there was a few requests for different mini albums. So I am so happy for those answers because those are some of my favorite things to make, and they'll be coming up very soon. I'm back in the swing of things finally, filming again, and it feels really good, and I love spring. So thank you if you made it this far in the video. I cannot thank you enough. I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!